Hello and welcome to Blood Sugar Mastery. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so happy that you decided to take your health into your own hands. And by that statement, I don't mean to discount anything that your other health practitioners are doing, because of course I want you to listen to whatever they tell you. But when you take responsibility for your health, things can shift for you and they can shift quickly. And blood sugar mastery, as you may have seen in my other videos, is part of the trifecta, the foundation trifecta for good health. And I'm talking about your sleep, your poop, and your blood sugar needs to be in balance. No matter what's going on, those three things have to be in order. So I'm just going to go through a quick overview of what the program is so you can get a better idea of where we're going with this. So again, welcome to Blood Sugar Mastery. Here's the kickoff video. If you don't know me, I'm Tami Jersey Roberts, functional nutrition counselor. And little story here. Back in 2012, my chiropractor had the guts to look me in the eyes and tell me, Tami, diabetes is a symptom of your lifestyle and you can change the path you're on. Well, when she said that to me, her voice was so stern and tears just welled up in my eyes. And I just whimpered, I can't do this anymore. For 3 years, I've been starving myself on every diet on the planet. I'm so frustrated. I can't lose weight. I just can't. My doctor has me on insulin and other medications for high blood pressure and other diabetes medications. And she said that I'm going to be on these medications for the rest of my life, which pissed me off. She saw no path out of this. But when my chiropractor told me that diabetes is a symptom of your lifestyle, Tami, and you can do something about it, whoa, it shifted my whole mindset. But I didn't know how. And so for the next 7 years, I went on a journey to figure it out. And that's how Blood Sugar Mastery got its beginning. That's where it was birthed. I have figured out a path that can work for anyone who's having struggles with blood sugar issues, because everyone is different, and I know that. And that's why this program is set up for you to be able to figure out what it is with your blood sugar that's keeping it out of balance. And I'm just so excited that you're here. Let's just get right into the overview. So how does this program work? Well, I have it set up in 2 phases. Phase 1 is days 1 through 14. And the first phase of the 4-week journey starts by eliminating the roadblocks to blood sugar mastery, such as overcarbing, overstressing, not getting enough rest and sleep. And in this phase, the goal is to set you up to create new healthy habits that will serve you for a lifetime. And then in phase 2, days 15 through 28, is about finding your unique carb tolerance, your UCT, so you can see what works for your body and put an end to the carb drama forever. So the first thing I want you to do is, in phase 1, is take the blood sugar mastery quiz if you haven't already. Download the blood sugar mastery foods list. Download the suggested meals guides for weeks 1 and 2. And there's an omnivore version if you eat meat. And there's also a vegetarian version. And then begin eliminating the foods under the don't eat category on the blood sugar mastery foods list. And of course, I don't expect you to do this all at once. Just do it gradually, just one at a time. Just take a look at the list and just start taking them out of your diet and replacing them with other things. And then shop for your groceries. And I do want to say something about the grocery list that I have provided are the ingredients for every single recipe provided in the recipe guide for the first 2 weeks. So you're going to want to take a look at the recipe guides, either omnivore or vegetarian, and figure out what you're going to eat and then modify the shopping list for you, because I don't want to see you buy the ingredients for every single recipe because you're not going to use it. And then read pages 4 through 16 in the Blood Mastery Guide, and then read the Up-Level Your Self-Care and the supplement handouts, and choose 1 or 2 of the self-care strategies that you want to work on in the beginning. All of this is in the membership portal, so you don't have to write this down right now. And then during phase 2, we're going to continue with suggestions from the food mastery, the foods list. And in the second phase, you'll download suggested meals and shopping lists for either omnivore or vegetarian. Read pages 16 through 23 of the Blood Sugar Mastery Guide. And then follow the instructions on how to find your unique carb tolerance in this guide. And you can either I'm going to teach you how to do that by reading the signs and symptoms that your body is telling you, or you can also use a glucose meter. We'll talk more about that, of course, when we get there in 2 weeks. And all the testing schedule and everything is provided. And again, we're going to talk more about that. Read the Blood Sugar Hacks for Better Sleep handout and choose 1 or 2 strategies that you're going to work on. And then read pages 23 through 25 in the guide for information on testing and other resources. And how to get started. So the low carb foods to eat are eggs. And of course, if you can, get the organic cage-free eggs. For dairy, in this program, we're only using feta or goat cheese if you can tolerate it. So many people have dairy intolerances, and the lactose in dairy products can cause so many problems. Lactose is a sugar, it ends in OSE, so any ingredient that ends in OSE is a sugar. Vegetables, phase 1, we're going to do the fiber vegetables. Phase 2, you're going to reintroduce starchy vegetables. Phase 1, fruits, low sugar fruits. Phase 2, we'll reintroduce high sugar fruits. Meat, all unclean, uncured, unprocessed meats. Get the cleanest source that you can. And fats, avocado oil, coconut butter, coconut oil, MCT oil, olive oil, tahini. You know the good ones. Approved grains. In phase 2, we're going to be reintroducing grains with buckwheat and quinoa to see how you handle them. The low carb foods to eat. Approved legumes and beans. Phase 1, sprouts, mung beans, lentils, tofu, tempeh. And then in phase 2, we're going to reintroduce chickpeas. Nuts and seeds. You can basically have any nuts and seeds, almonds, chia, hemp, walnuts, etc., etc. Take it easy on cashews. Cashews, too many of them, and it's going to spike your sugar. The other thing I want to say about nuts and seeds, peanuts. They have nut in the name, but they are not nuts. They are legumes. So no peanuts. Flours, use grain-free flours such as coconut, almond, cassava. There's a lot of different ones now, but don't use the ones that are made out of legumes, such as like chickpea flour, because it's made out of chickpeas and we're not doing those. So just do the grain-free ones. I don't know. Coconut and almond are the ones I use most of the time. Herbs, we're going to use all kinds of herbs in the recipes. Some are fresh, some are dried. You can just use either one. Sweeteners, monk fruit, stevia, erythritol. Erythritol is an alcohol sugar. It ends in OL. So take it easy on that. Same with xylitol. I usually don't use any sweeteners unless I'm baking. And I use a combination one that's got stevia and xylitol in it, but you have to take it easy on that because it can cause a lot of problems in your digestive system. So alternative milks, grain-free, such as almond milk, hemp milk, coconut milk. Oops, I need to fix that typo. Superfoods. We're going to be introducing a lot of superfoods, and of course, I don't expect you to use all of them, but as we go through, I'll be talking about which ones are good for certain things that you might want to put more stress on, more emphasis on, I should say. Collagen, hemp, paleo protein powders, spirulina, chlorella, kelp, cacao, mushroom powders, maca powder, ashwagandha powder, and on and on. There's a lot of them. Foods to eliminate in all phases. Dairy, I already talked about dairy. If you can tolerate feta and goat cheese, then that's fine. Grains, all grains such as barley, bread, pasta, bagels, donuts, pasta, oats, rice, rye, spelt, wheat, and we will reintroduce quinoa and buckwheat in phase 2. Legumes and beans, all except for sprouts, mung beans, lentils, organic tofu, tempeh, and in phase 2, we're going to bring chickpeas back in and test those. No poor quality meats or processed meats, such as hot dogs, most lunch meats, unless it's nitrate free and you know it's a clean source. If you need some brands for that, I can send some your way. Preserved meats, sausage, none of that for right now. Processed and packaged foods. No fast food, refined foods, and packaged foods. Sugar, all forms of sugar, such as agave, coconut sugar, honey, maple syrup, molasses, palm sugar, raw sugar, rice syrup, table sugar. Again, any ingredient that ends in OSE. Of course, we're not buying packaged foods that have an ingredient list, but if you happen to be looking at labels, anything ending in OSE, again, is a sugar. And there are a lot more that are hidden now by manufacturers because they don't want you to know that they're putting sugar in their products. Alcohol, caffeine. So if you're not ready to give up coffee and caffeine, start by slowly reducing how much you consume. If you do drink coffee, eat a balanced meal before drinking your morning coffee. And also work on fixing your sleep. New research suggests consuming caffeine before breakfast, particularly after a bad night of sleep, may increase your glucose response to breakfast by 50%. Previous studies have also linked caffeine to insulin resistance. Now, I love my keto coffee in the morning, so I eat some protein and fats and a little bit of carbs right before I drink that. I have some little snack packs that I make up for that. So It doesn't spike my blood sugar. The suggested meals guide. Of course, there's one for omnivore if you eat meat, and there's one for vegetarians. And this program comes with 2 different suggested meal guides, one for phase 1 and one for phase 2. And you can follow the suggested meal guide, or you can make up your own. I just wanted to make a note here that sometimes, depending on where you're coming from in your eating patterns, it's easier just to follow the plan that I've laid out. It gives you much less to think about. And part of the goal of this course is so that you're not overwhelmed and stressed. Otherwise, you're just going to quit. I already know that. So I've made it as easy as I can by providing menu plans, because I did that during my journey where I bought all these great diet books that kind of tell you what to eat, and they would give you some recipes, but they would never give you a menu plan. It's like, I don't know how to mix all this up. So anyway, I suggest just following the menu plans that I provided, and then you can switch it up. You know, for another example would be that some of the recipes have 4 servings. Well, I live by myself, so I would go ahead and make the 4 servings, and I would divide the rest up into 3 more servings and put them in the freezer so that I could just pull them out and heat them up later. And I have 3 ready-made meals anytime that I'm in a hurry or I don't have time to cook or whatever. So they're ready for me. And I did this consistently with a lot of the recipes. And so in phase 2, the suggested meal guide also includes the schedule for testing carbs and the protocol for that, which we'll be talking a lot more about that. And so for recipes, see the suggested meal guides, but the recipe book is loaded with different breakfasts. Morning, have a high power snack, such as a high protein smoothie, handful of raw seeds, or a half avocado. Lunch, again, see the lunch guides. You can also have soup there. And same in the afternoon, enjoy a high power snack, such as high protein smoothie, handful of raw seeds, or a half avocado. And again, dinner. So we're going to be learning more about what a balanced plate looks like. The big idea here is to avoid starch, sugar, carbs alone. A balanced plate includes all 3 macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and fat. The balance of your meals is important for blood sugar mastery, energy levels, healthy metabolism, less cravings, and better sleep. A quick word on protein. Adequate protein is essential for blood sugar mastery. The recommended dietary allowance for protein is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. That is the amount of protein required to prevent illness, and it may or may not be the right amount of protein for your body. Some experts suggest the RDA is far too low, suggesting upwards of 90 to 100 grams of protein per day. Now, that doesn't mean you should run out and eat more meat and cheese. We need to eat a variety of proteins, including seeds, nuts, legumes, and produce. The current dietary guidelines for Americans suggest focusing less on the exact amount of protein you eat, and rather to put your focus on eating high quality protein sources. Remember to always follow any recommendations that have been given to you by your doctor or a dietitian. Blood sugar control. Why blood sugar matters. Many people mistakenly believe that they do not need to worry about their blood sugar balance unless they have insulin resistance, prediabetes, or diabetes. This is a huge misconception. Insulin surges from eating too many carbs, overeating, and overstressing influences every aspect of our daily life. Blood sugar imbalance is also the main reason diets fail. I'm going to say that one more time. Blood sugar imbalance is the main reason most diets fail. So if you've tried to lose weight in the past, you are going to set a better foundation for maximizing your weight loss efforts once you complete this program. Signs you need to master your blood sugar. The sugar lows. Cravings for carbs, sugar, and caffeine. Excessive sweating. Fatigue followed by eating. Relieved by eating. Feeling off when you have not eaten. Feeling nervous and jittery. Hungry between meals. Headaches. Lightheaded, dizzy, foggy brain. Nausea. The sugar high. Difficulty focusing. Fatigue and feeling lethargic. Food cravings that are not satisfied by eating, headaches, hunger even after you eat, increased thirst, mid-belly fat. This is a big one, especially for people over 40. Vision disturbances. This is what was going on with me for almost a year. I woke up every morning where I couldn't open my eyes because it felt like there was crushed glass in my eyes. It hurt so, so bad. I went to 3 or 4 eye doctors who gave me drops and salves and all this stuff trying to fix the symptoms of crushed glass in my eyes. And finally, after I guess it was about a year of this, a doctor realized that I had diabetes, and it was my blood sugar that was causing this crushed glass feeling in my eyes. There was nothing wrong with my eyes. It was my blood sugar. Another thing with your vision, you can start seeing like spotty stuff and things look blurry. Sometimes you just think you need glasses, but it can actually be your blood sugar. So what throws off your balance? Alcohol, certain medications, cortisol imbalance, exposure to toxins, high blood pressure, hormone imbalance, inflammation, lack of sleep, poor quality sleep, not enough exercise, overcarbing, overeating, overstressing, processed and refined foods, irregular eating schedule. That was another big one for me. Sugar, too much caffeine. So what you need to know about insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone. Actually, the nickname is the fat storage hormone made in your pancreas. It allows your body to use glucose for energy. Glucose is a type of sugar found in many carbohydrates. The primary function of insulin is to lower blood sugar. The amount of insulin that your body secretes depends on how high your blood sugar is and how well your body responds to the insulin. Meals that are high in carbohydrates and sugars lead to an insulin surge. Foods high in carbohydrates do this by rapidly increasing your blood sugar after you eat. Meals high in protein and fiber like green veggies cause a slower blood sugar rise, which means your body will produce less insulin at once. Also, high protein meals will trigger insulin too. It is essential to understand this because of the common misconception that carbs are the only concern for blood sugar balance. Overeating, yo-yo dieting, binge eating, poor sleep, and stress can also cause problems with blood sugar control. One common problem is insulin resistance. When you become insulin resistant, your cells do not respond appropriately to the effects of insulin. The pancreas keeps producing more insulin to try to make the cells respond, but ultimately the pancreas cannot keep up and your blood sugar keeps increasing. For women, this can cause elevated androgens leading to symptoms such as acne, excess facial hair, and infertility. Should say that again. This can cause women's androgen hormones to increase and cause things like acne, excess facial hair, and infertility. Insulin resistant. Problems with insulin or insulin resistance can be mild, causing just a few minor symptoms, and it can be more severe, such as prediabetes, diabetes, or insulin-resistant PCOS. When insulin is out of balance, you may feel hungry more often, have intense food cravings, especially for sugar and carbs. You can gain weight easily, you feel tired and run down, you have emotional ups and downs, you struggle with skin issues, have multiple hormone balances, and suffer from hair loss. Just want to make a quick side note of here about hormone imbalance. A lot of people just go straight for hormone therapies, especially women that are over 45 to 50 or so. They start feeling the effects of their hormones shifting and they go straight for hormone therapy, but they never do anything about their blood sugar. Well, blood sugar is the thing that flicks the switch for your sex hormones and other hormones. And until you address the sugar, the blood sugar, it doesn't matter how many creams or whatever kind of therapy you're on, it's not going to work as well. So thank you. Again, I'm Tami Jersey Roberts, and welcome to Blood Sugar Mastery. If any time throughout this whole program you have any questions at all about anything that I've said, or anything that I haven't said that you have a question about, if you want to email me, you can click the help desk button in the course, or you can email me at support@TamiJerseyRoberts.com, or join my Facebook group, Blood Sugar Masters, and I'll be happy to answer any questions there. Tami Jersey Roberts, thank you again, and welcome to Blood Sugar Mastery. Let's get rolling.